Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I'm Ted Savransky, a.k.a. Teddy Covers, at Teddy_Covers on Twitter. And I'm joined by two fine gentlemen who, between us, what do we have, 70 years of handicapping experience on this panel? We're ancient. Marco D'Angelo, of course, Marco in Vegas on Twitter, and Ralph Michaels at Cal Sports
I would say
LV.
90 years.
No, I've been 20 years in the business, and when I got in, both you guys were already in.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah,
This
30.
is my 40th football season. This year
Is it
will be
really?
40, my 40th year.
As a professional?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm 32. Yeah.
Sure. So, yeah, take the over 80 for the limit. Nonetheless, so the point is this. This is not our first NCAA tournament. All right. And when it comes to the big dance, look, this one's going to be fun. There's matchups that you look at and you say, yeah, well, not so much. And there's matchups you look at and say, oh, my God, this is must-see TV for the first round of the big dance. Of course, we're talking about Oregon and Wisconsin, the late game on Friday. And we've seen some wild line movement on this one. Opened up with Wisconsin as a short favorite, and boom, the money poured in on Oregon. That was the first big move of anything on Sunday night when the games opened, and then boom, by Monday night, guess what? It's the Badgers laying 1.5 once again. So the early money went one way, and then the next set of early money went the other way. Total 117.5. Ralph, let's start with you. What's your take on the Badgers and the Ducks?
Well, I think the early line move is what have you done for me lately? Oregon running through the Pac-12, winning and having that momentum. People remember that winning versus Wisconsin struggling in the Big Ten tournament. But I am the fan of the Ducks. You know, it's not a cutesy 12-5 pick, and people are going to say that. I don't worry about the seedings. The tournaments seed different every year. It doesn't matter to me, but being in San Jose is a big advantage for Oregon compared to Wisconsin. I truly believe that, being in the time zone and being closer for their fans. But for me, Oregon went through a transition. They lost Bol after 7 games. Manute Bol's son, 5-star pick, going to be a #1 NBA draft choice. And their offense and defense in the offseason was designed around him. So all of a sudden you lose him, and then you got to make yourself up and change. Well, you have one of the best tournament coaches in the country in Altman. And what happens? Well, they allowed 61 points to UCLA in the second half in that loss mid-February. Since that time, they have not allowed 61 points but to one opponent for the game. They're 8-0 straight up in ATS. They haven't allowed over 42% shooting in any of those 8 games. And when you have the coaching to go along with that defense, this is a team that I'm going to pick to win a few games and perhaps even get to the Elite 8.
Well, let me go to you, Marco, on this, because to me, the biggest question I have, I agree with everything you said about Oregon. And Altman, to me, I mean, if I'm picking tournament coaches, it's Altman, Bayline, and I don't even know who I pick third. You know, those are the 2 coaches that I want at this time of year. But the Pac-12 sucked this year. I mean, it really sucked this year. And the Big Ten.
Getting 3 teams in was a travesty. I can't believe that. But
and there are no teams like Wisconsin in the Pac-12. Would you agree?
This is odd. Me and you actually agree word for word on this one. This is the difference in this one. First of all, yes, Oregon's done a great job. They're the flavor of the week, and that's why you're seeing that action and why this line is this short. I think Wisconsin should be 3.5 in this game. There's too much value here. What Oregon has done is they ran through a mediocre Pac-12. And they play a style that most of the teams don't play in the Pac-12. They play good defense and they play physical, and that got them through. What's Wisconsin do? They play physical defense, and they're good. And they play in a much better conference. I love Wisconsin in this game. And me and you, we might have to have another crab leg dinner bet here. I know you always talk about who wins all these disagreements, but I'm the only guy that ate free crab legs this year on bets, okay?
Yeah, well, yeah, I have no problems. You're on. This is an official Marco Ralph disagreement bet. And I will happily take the 12 seed. Now, I will say this, that if it's a close game, when the best player on your team shoots free throws like Shaquille O'Neal, that's going to be a concern for Wisconsin down the stretch, having Ethan Happ at the foul line with the way he shoots and the way the team shoots in general. If it's a close game, or even if you're down by a few with a few minutes to go, I got to hack a Happ right away and make himself play himself out of the game if that's ever going to happen.
There you have it. Ralph and Marco disagreeing once again. What a surprise. Comment. Tell us who you think is right out of this duo And if you've never tried WagerTalk.com or SportsMember.com, until the first game tips on Thursday, all new users take $20 off your first purchase. New users only, but you get $20 off using code MM20 when checking out.